Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, it's Iran. Now before we get started, I wanted to express my gratitude guys, because I've got to say that the response to my recent Elite Dangerous videos has been absolutely incredible. I've seen a surge of new subscribers and way more views than I had ever expected. This is both exciting and humbling. Seeing so many of you engage with this content here and share your thoughts in the comment has really been motivating. It's clear that Elite Dangerous definitely has still a passionate and dedicated community, and it's one of the reasons I want to keep making more content about this game moving forward. So to all of you who watched, liked, subscribed and commented, thank you, it means a lot and I cannot wait to explore the universe of Elite Dangerous with you furthermore. Now, I want to do a quick history here about Elite Dangerous before I talk about how Colonization hooked me back into the game. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, let me give you a little bit of a background on my history with Elite Dangerous. It's been around since the very beginning, actually. I picked up the game in 2014 when it launched. Back then, the game was fascinating, open-ended space simulation here that offered endless possibilities. The thrill of jumping into the ship, exploring vast star systems, and making my way into the galaxy was unmatched. I really played quite heavily from 2014 all the way to 2018, immersing myself in everything from exploration to trading, bounty hunting, sometimes a little mining as well. However, over time, I started feeling increasingly frustrated with certain aspects of the game. One of my biggest grievances was the engineering grind. I understand the appeal of upgrading ships and tweaking builds for optimal performance, but the process felt unnecessarily tedious. Gathering materials, unlocking engineers, and dealing with all those mechanics here made progression feel like a chore rather than a rewarding experience. On top of that, the Thargoid content really never interested in me. I know some players really enjoy the alien conflict and the mystery surrounding them, but for me, it just didn't provide the engaging gameplay I was looking for. Perhaps my biggest frustration, however, was the overall lack of meaningful development. Elite Dangerous had so much potential, yet for years it felt like it was stagnating. New updates came, but they didn't always address the core issues that I felt were holding the game back. I wanted to see more dynamic content, more player-driven mechanics, a sense of purpose beyond just grinding for credits and ranks. As a result, my enthusiasm for the game started to wane, and eventually I found myself drifting away from Elite Dangerous. Now, eventually, Odyssey was released and announced, and when it was announced, I was really intrigued. The idea of being able to step up of my ship and explore planets on foot sounded like a game changer. Finally, we would have a chance to interact with the universe in a more immersive way, walk around stations, take on missions in a new way, and experience Elite Dangerous from a fresh perspective. It was an exciting concept, and I was eager to see how it would expand the game's possibilities. Unfortunately, when Odyssey launched, it didn't quite live up to my expectations. While the ability to walk around was a nice addition, the actual gameplay felt somewhat shallow. The planets with thin atmospheres looked a little different, but the experience of exploring them didn't feel significantly different from what we already had in SRVs. The new content didn't really offer enough variety, and the overall implementation felt like a separate experience rather than something that seamlessly integrated with the rest of the game. What disappointed me the most was the lack of deeper mechanics that could have made Odyssey truly revolutionary. There were still no ship interiors, meaning that stepping out of the cockpit felt more like a gimmick rather than a natural part of our journey. There was still no Earth-like world, which is still not the case, by the way, to explore. No form of player ownership like bases or settlements, no real sense of impact from the actions we took. It felt like the game was inching forward, but not in ways that I personally wanted. So, after trying Odyssey for a while, I eventually lost interest again and decided to return to Star Citizen, which, despite its own issues, offers a greater sense of interactivity and immersion. Now, here came Colonization, and this changed everything for me. Eventually, at the end of last year, something caught me off guard. Frontier announced Colonization, a brand new feature that promised to give players direct influence over the development of star systems. Now, first, I was already cautiously optimistic about Powerplay 2.0, which had added a much needed layer of engagement to faction mechanics, but Colonization was on an entirely different level. It was the kind of player-driven content that I had been waiting for, something that allowed us to shape the galaxy in a meaningful way based on our choices and actions. For the first time in Elite Dangerous, players had the ability to build something permanent, to establish new colonies, and to influence the economic and political landscapes of star systems. This wasn't just about running missions for factions or grinding for influence. This was about creating something that mattered. Whether it was constructing new installations, boosting economies, or expanding human presence into new areas, colonization brought a new level of depth and purpose that had been sorely missing from the game. Since the release of the Trailblazers update, which introduced said colonization feature, I found myself completely hooked once again. I'm playing Elite Dangerous for hours, every day, just like I used to in the early years, and this time, I'm actively seeking out other players in open play. The thrill of hauling goods with a clear objective, whether it's to build a station, or support an expansion, or strengthen my chosen system's economy, has reignited my passion for the game. Every cargo run, every interaction with other players, and every decision I make now feels that it has weight and significance. Even PvP has become more engaging. The fact that I might get intercepted and pirated by someone who needs my cargo for their own colonization effort adds an entirely new dimension to gameplay. Likewise, encountering well-developed player-created colonies and realizing that their infrastructure can help me obtain resources that I need is an experience that simply didn't exist before. It's this kind of emergent gameplay that makes the galaxy feel alive and truly player-driven. And it's not just me who feels that way. Elite Dangerous has seen a major resurgence of players, in the numbers I think speak for themselves. Just take a look at the Steam charts. The increase of activity proves that I'm far from the only one who sees colonization as a game-changing feature. More and more players are coming back, rediscovering what makes this game somewhat special, and actively participating in shaping the universe. I also know for a fact that it's not just a general trend, it's happening within my own community as well. In my organization, the Irad Club, several members who had stepped away from the game have now returned. Even my friend Zeo Crusher is back in the cockpit, and I know that there are many others out there who may have be drawn back by the update. So what about you? Have you returned to Elite Dangerous since the introduction of colonization, or are you considering giving it another shot? I would love to read your thoughts, so please make sure to drop a comment in the section down below and share your experience. If you enjoy this video, maybe you want to see more Elite Dangerous content, well, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. I have plenty more videos coming, guys. You know I'm making the videos daily, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. So thank you once again for watching. I have been Irad, and I will see you guys in the next one.